The night sky over the small town of Pine Creek glowed with unusual lights as Zara watched from her spacecraft. She adjusted the cloaking shield, making sure her ship remained hidden from human radar. Her mission to Earth was supposed to be simple: observe human behavior for 3 lunar cycles and report back to the Galactic Council. Yet something about these humans fascinated her more than expected. Zara had been studying humans for 2 Earth weeks now. Her blue skin shimmered in the dim light of her control panel as she reviewed her notes. Humans were strange creatures with their constant emotions, their attachment to material things, and their obsession with time. Despite having such short lifespans, they hurried through life as if trying to catch something always just out of reach. She sighed and looked at the small house below. Her tracking system had identified this human as someone interesting to study. Alex Morgan, a science teacher at the local high school. According to Zara's research, Alex lived alone, spent evenings looking at the stars, and seemed more thoughtful than most humans. Tonight, Zara decided to take a risk. The Galactic Council had strict rules against direct contact, but she wanted to understand humans better than she could from a distance. She prepared her appearance modulator to make her look more human, hiding her blue skin and third eye. She could maintain the disguise for about 8 Earth hours, enough time for a brief interaction. The cool night air touched her skin as she approached the small house. She had practiced human walking for days, trying to appear natural. Her silver bodysuit would seem strange to humans, so she had replicated what appeared to be normal Earth clothing, jeans and a simple shirt. She took a deep breath and knocked on the door. When the door opened, Alex Morgan stood there with a surprised expression. Zara realized she had not planned what to say. "Hello, my vehicle has stopped working and my communication device has no signal. May I use your phone?" Alex looked confused but nodded, stepping aside to let her in. "I was just making some tea." "Would you like some?" Alex asked. Leading her to a small kitchen Zara had studied Earth customs and knew accepting food or drink was a sign of trust. "Yes, please," she replied, trying to sound natural. The inside of the human dwelling fascinated her. Books lined the walls and strange objects sat on shelves. A large telescope stood by the window, pointing at the night sky. "You like stars?" Zara asked, pointing to the telescope. Alex smiled. "Yes. I've always been fascinated by space, wondering what's out there. Other worlds, other beings." He laughed. If only we knew. Zara tried not to react. She sipped the tea. Alex gave her the warm liquid. Tasted strange but pleasant. "This is good," she said. "So where are you from?" Alex asked, sitting across from her at the kitchen table. Zara had prepared for this. "Far away," she said. "A small town, you wouldn't know it." She quickly changed the subject. "That telescope looks powerful." "It is." Alex stood and walked to the window. "Would you like to look?" Zara hesitated, but curiosity won. She followed Alex to the telescope. "Look at that star system," he said, adjusting the telescope. "That's where I think alien life might exist. If it exists at all." Zara looked through the telescope and nearly gasped. He was pointing directly at her home system. She stepped back quickly. "I'm not feeling well," she said. "Could I sit down?" Alex looked concerned. "Of course, I didn't mean to keep you standing. You said your car broke down." Where exactly? Zara realized she had not thought this part through. Near the forest entrance, she improvised. "I was driving through when it stopped. I can drive you back to it and take a look," Alex offered. "Or call someone for you." "No," Zara said too quickly. "I mean, I already called someone before my phone died. They will come soon. I just needed somewhere to wait." She looked around the room, noticing pictures of Alex with other humans. They were smiling, laughing. "Is that your family?" Alex nodded, picking up one photo. "That's my sister, Kate, and my parents. They live on the other side of the country. I don't see them much." The concept of family fascinated Zara. On her world, children were raised by the community, not by specific parents. "You miss them," she observed. "Every day," Alex admitted. "But we talk often." "It's not the same, though." As they continued talking, Zara found herself relaxing. Alex was easy to talk to, passionate about science and full of questions about the world. The hours passed quickly as they discussed books, music, and stars. You know a lot about astronomy, Alex noted as Zara explained the light patterns of distant stars. I thought you said you weren't into science. Zara realized her mistake. I read. A lot, she said quickly. Alex seemed about to say something when Zara's appearance modulator beeped softly, warning her that its power was running low. She needed to leave soon before her human appearance failed. I should check if my ride is here, she said, standing suddenly. Alex looked out the window. It's pretty dark out there. Let me at least walk you back to your car. Zara hesitated, but knew refusing would seem strange. Thank you, she said. They walked in silence through the quiet streets. The night was cool and clear, stars shining brightly above them. Zara felt a strange sensation walking beside this human. Something she had not experienced before, a connection. As they neared the forest where she had claimed her vehicle was, Alex stopped. Do you hear that? He asked. Zara listened and heard the low hum of her ship's systems. She had left the engines in standby mode, a mistake that could expose everything. What do you mean? She asked, trying to sound confused. That humming sound. Alex moved toward the trees. It's coming from in there. Zara grabbed his arm. Wait, she said. It's not safe. Alex gave her a curious look. Not safe. How would you know? Zara realized she had made another mistake. I meant it's dark. We could fall. Alex pulled out a small light from his pocket. I've walked these woods 100 times, he said, moving forward. There might be someone in trouble. Zara had to stop him. Her modulator beeped again, more urgently this time. She had minutes at most before her true appearance would show. I need to tell you something, she said desperately. Alex turned to her, his face half in shadow. What is it? Before she could answer, her modulator failed with a soft click. The disguise fell away, revealing her true form. Her blue skin glowed softly in the darkness. Her third eye opened on her forehead and her fingers returned to their natural length. Alex stumbled backward, the light dropping from his hand. Oh my God, he whispered. Sorry. Zara said, her voice returning to its natural melodic tone. I didn't mean to frighten you. Alex stared at her, his eyes wide with shock. You're not human. I'm a researcher, Zara explained. My people have been studying Earth for many cycles. I'm here to learn about humans. As the shock began to fade, Alex stepped closer, looking at her with wonder rather than fear. You're actually an alien, he said. His voice held excitement, not terror. Zara nodded. I should not have made contact. It's forbidden. But I wanted to understand instead of running away. Alex smiled. This is incredible, he said. Are there others like you here? What planet are you from? How do you travel through space? What? Zara held up her hand, stopping the flood of questions. You are not afraid. Afraid. Alex laughed. I'm a science teacher who has spent his whole life believing there must be intelligent life beyond Earth, and now you're standing right in front of me. This is amazing. Zara felt relief wash over her, but also worry. Her mission was compromised. If the council discovered she had made contact, she would face serious consequences. I need to go, Zara said. My ship is nearby. I shouldn't have revealed myself. Wait, Alex pleaded. Will I see you again? There are so many things I want to ask you. Zara hesitated, looking at this strange human who reacted with curiosity instead of fear. I don't know, she answered honestly. I have broken our protocols already. Please, Alex said. Just one more meeting. I promise I won't tell anyone. Zara knew she should refuse. But something about Alex made her want to trust him against all. Her training and better judgment. She nodded. Come to this spot tomorrow night, she said. If I'm able, I will meet you with that. She turned and ran into the forest, disappearing among the trees, leaving a stunned but exhilarated Alex staring after her. Tomorrow night, he whispered to himself. Tomorrow night, back in her ship, Zara sat at the control panel, her hands shaking. What had she done? She had exposed herself to a human, broken the most important rule of galactic observation. Yet she couldn't bring herself to regret it. The way Alex had looked at her with wonder instead of fear made her feel something new, something that made her want to understand humans even more. as her ship rose silently into the night sky. Zara made a decision. She would meet Alex again tomorrow night. She would learn more about this fascinating species, even if it meant risking everything. Zara paced inside her spacecraft as the Earth sun began to set. She had spent the entire day analyzing the risk she had taken yesterday. She had broken the primary rule of her mission by revealing herself to a human. Not just any human, but Alex, one who studied the stars and had always believed in life beyond Earth. The wisest course of action would be to leave Earth, immediately return to her home planet, and report mission failure. But something pulled at her, making her hesitate. Her communication panel blinked with an incoming message from the Galactic Council. Zara hesitated before accepting it. Commander Lyon's face appeared on the screen, stern as always. "Research Officer Zara," the commander said. "Your daily reports have been thorough, but our sensors detected unusual activity from your ship last night." Explain. Zara kept her face calm despite her racing heart. "A minor malfunction in the cloaking system," she lied. "I had to power down and restart." "I fixed the issue." The commander studied her for a long moment. "Very well. But remember our protocols. No contact with the native species under any circumstances. This is an observation mission only. Is that understood?" "Yes," Commander Zara said, keeping her voice steady. "I understand." After the communication ended, Zara sat heavily in her pilot's chair. She had never lied to a superior before, but telling the truth would mean immediate recall and another research officer sent to replace her. She thought of Alex waiting for her in the forest. Tonight she could not leave, not yet. As darkness fell, Zara prepared her appearance modulator. She had made adjustments to strengthen its power supply. It should now last longer. This time she kept some of her natural features. Her skin would be a lighter shade of blue, not the deep azure of her true form, and her third eye would remain hidden, but her eyes would stay their natural silver color, and her fingers their true length. She wanted Alex to see her as she was, at least partially. The forest was quiet as Zara made her way to the meeting spot. Her scanner showed no other humans nearby, just Alex waiting where they had parted the night before. She took a deep breath and stepped into the clearing. Alex turned instantly, his face lighting up when he saw her. "You're really here?" He said. "I was afraid. I dreamed it all. I'm here," Zara confirmed. "Though I shouldn't be." Alex approached her slowly, as if afraid she might disappear. "I'm glad you came," he said softly. "You look different than last night." If adjusted. "My appearance modulator," Zara explained. "It lets me control how much of my true form shows." Alex nodded, studying her with fascination. "Your eyes, they're amazing," he said. "They look like liquid silver." Zara felt an unfamiliar warmth in her face. "Thank you. On my world, they are quite ordinary." They stood in awkward silence for a moment before Alex spoke again. "I brought something for you." He reached into his backpack and pulled out a book. "The Stars and Beyond, a simple guide to astronomy." Zara took the book, turning it over in her hands. Books were rare on her world, where knowledge was typically stored in digital form. "Thank you," she said, genuinely touched. "I thought you might find it interesting to see how we understand the universe." Alex said. Then he laughed. "Though I guess it's probably all wrong compared to what you know." "Not all wrong," Zara said, smiling. "Your scientists are quite clever, considering your technological limitations." "Do you want to sit down?" Alex asked, gesturing to a fallen log. "Nearby, I have so many questions if you're willing to answer them." They sat together under the stars, and Zara found herself telling Alex about her world, a planet called Nebulon, orbiting a binary star system. Her people, the nebulae, lived in harmony, with their environment, technology, and nature balanced. They had been space travelers for over 10,000 Earth years, and had observed many worlds, including Earth, for centuries. "And you've never made contact with humans before?" Alex asked. "Not officially," Zara explained. "The Galactic Council believes that species should develop at their natural pace without interference from more advanced civilizations." Alex considered this. "So why did you reveal yourself to me?" Zara looked away. "I'm not entirely sure," she admitted. "I was curious. You seemed different from the other humans I observed, more open to the possibility of something beyond your world." And she hesitated. I wanted to talk to someone. The isolation of this mission has been difficult. Alex reached out hesitantly, then pulled his hand back. I'm glad you did, he said. I can't imagine how lonely that must be, watching but never participating. They talked for hours. Zara explained the basics of interstellar travel, while Alex told her about human culture, music, art, literature, and the complex emotions that drove human behavior. Zara found herself fascinated by the human concept of love, something her people experienced differently, less intensely, and without the chaos it seemed to create in humans do. Your people fall in love, Alex asked as the night grew late. We form bonds, Zara said. But not like humans do. Our connections are more practical, based on compatibility and mutual goals. Humans seem to choose partners based on feelings that often defy logic, Alex laughed. That's a pretty accurate description. Sometimes love makes no sense at all. As they talked, a small forest animal approached them cautiously. Alex identified it as a fox. It's drawn to your energy, he said, watching as the fox sniffed. The air near Zara animals can sense things. Humans can't. Zara watched the creature with wonder. On most planets she visited, the local fauna sensed her difference and stayed away. This fox seemed curious rather than afraid. Slowly Zara extended her hand. The fox came closer, sniffing her fingers before disappearing back into the trees. It's getting late, Alex said, checking his watch. I should probably head back soon, but can I see you again? Zara knew she should say no. Every meeting increased the risk of discovery. But the thought of not seeing Alex again created an uncomfortable feeling in her chest. Yes, she said. I would like that. Same time tomorrow night. Alex asked. Zara nodded. Then standing, she pressed a small device into Alex's hand. If you need to reach me before then, use this. It will connect to my ship. Alex looked at the small silver disc. It resembled a smooth stone with no visible buttons or screen. How does it work? Just hold it and speak. My name. Zara said, I will hear you. But use it only if necessary. It's not untraceable. Thank you, Alex said, carefully pocketing the device, for trusting me. As they parted ways, Zara watched Alex walk through the forest toward town. She should feel worried about the risk she was taking, but instead she felt something new, a lightness she couldn't explain. She returned to her ship and began recording her official daily report, carefully omitting any mention of Alex. The next morning, Alex sat in his classroom watching his students work on their science projects. His mind kept drifting to Zara. An actual alien had given him a communication device. He fingered the small disk in his pocket, wondering if he should call her just to make sure it worked. No. He decided he would wait until tonight. Megan, one of his brightest students, approached his desk. Mr. Morgan, she said, you've been smiling all day. Did something good happen? Alex hadn't realized his mood was so obvious. Just enjoying the nice weather, he said. After school ended, Alex hurried home. He still had hours before meeting Zara. He tried to focus on grading papers, but found himself looking up at every sound, wondering if she might come early. A knock at his door startled him. It was still daylight hours before their planned meeting. He opened the door, expecting a neighbor or delivery. Instead, he found Zara standing there, her skin now a human shade, her silver eyes hidden behind brown contact lenses. Alex pulled her inside quickly. What are you doing here? It's daytime. Someone might see you. I had to come, Zara said, her voice urgent. Something's happened. What is it? Alex asked. Leading her to the living room, the Galactic Council has become suspicious, Zara explained. They detected my ship last night when we met. They want me to report, in person. I'm supposed to leave Earth tonight. Alex felt his heart sink. So you're leaving? Zara looked at him, her expression troubled. I don't want to go, she said softly. I have not completed my research. She hesitated, then added, and I want to learn more about humans. About you. Something warm spread through Alex's chest. What happens if you don't go back? Zara looked away. They will send someone to find me. To bring me back. Could you hide? Alex suggested. Your ship has cloaking technology, right? It's not that simple, Zara said. The Council can track my ship even when cloaked. If I don't report, they will know something is wrong. They might send more researchers, more ships. It could expose everything. They sat in silence for a moment. Then Alex had an idea. What? If you hide your ship somewhere remote and stay here on Earth? With me. Zara's eyes widened. You mean abandon my mission? My people. Just for a little while, Alex said. Or longer if you wanted. I could help you learn about humans up close. Real research, not just observation. Zara considered this. I would be stranded here. Not stranded, Alex corrected. Staying here by choice with a friend. He reached out, taking her hand. It was cooler than a human's, but not unpleasantly so. A friend, Zara repeated, looking at their joined hands, or maybe more than friends, Alex said softly. If that's something you'd want to explore. Zara studied his face. The concept of more than friends was not unfamiliar to her. She had studied human relationships, but experiencing one herself, that was different. Do you mean love? She asked. Her voice was curious, not dismissive. I mean, we could find out. Alex said. We hardly know each other. But there's something here. Don't you feel it? Zara did feel it. A connection that defied the logical bonds of her people. It's against all my training, she said. But I find myself wanting to stay. The morning sun streamed through the curtains of Alex's guest bedroom, where Zara had spent her first night on Earth as something other than an observer. She had slept little, her mind racing with thoughts of what she had done. By now the Galactic Council would know she had gone offline. They would be searching, sending signals to her ship, which now sat silent in the forest. Her people did not tolerate disobedience, especially from research officers who had access to advanced technology. Zara sat up, looking at the small room Alex had prepared for her. It was simple but comfortable, with a bed, desk, and chair. The walls were painted a soft blue, ironically close to her natural skin color. A bookshelf stood in one corner, filled with books. About space and science, Alex had told her to make herself at home. But what did that mean? She had never had a home, not in the human sense. Research officers lived on their ships, traveling from world to world. A soft knock on the door interrupted her thoughts. Alex peeked in. Good morning, he said. How did you sleep? Fine. Zara lied. Not wanting to worry him, Alex seemed to sense her unease anyway. Big day, he said. First day of your new life on Earth? I thought we should start with breakfast. He smiled, reassuringly. Then we need to figure out a few things. What things? Zara asked, following him to the kitchen. Well, Alex began as he cracked eggs into a pan. You need some more clothes, a background story for anyone who asks, and we should probably discuss how you're going to blend in. Long-term. Zara sat at the kitchen table watching him cook. The smell was pleasant, though unfamiliar. My appearance modulator will maintain my human form for now, she said, but it requires energy to operate. Eventually, I will need to adapt it to use Earth power sources. Alex nodded, sliding a plate of scrambled eggs and toast in front of her. Well, work on that. Eat up, it's good protein. Zara took a bite of the egg, surprised by the pleasant taste. Food on her world was largely synthetic, designed for nutrition rather than pleasure. These are good, she said, taking another bite. Alex smiled, sitting across from her with his own plate. As they ate, he outlined his plan for the day. They would drive to a nearby city where no one knew him, buy Zara some Earth clothes, and work on her cover story. If anyone asked, she would be Alex's cousin from overseas visiting for an extended stay. After breakfast, they drove to the city. Zara watched the landscape pass by, fascinated by the Earth terrain, so different from her home world with its crystalline formations and purple vegetation. The mall was overwhelming. Crowds of humans moved in all directions, their voices creating a constant background noise. Zara stayed close to Alex as they navigated through stores with bright lights and endless racks of clothing. Pick whatever you like, Alex said, as they entered a clothing store. I'm not much help with women's fashion. Zara looked at the various items, unsure where to begin on her world. Clothing was utilitarian, not decorative. She touched a soft sweater, marveling at its texture. I don't know what to choose, she admitted. A store employee approached them. Can I help you find something? She asked with a friendly smile. My cousin is visiting from overseas, Alex explained smoothly. She lost her luggage and needs basically everything. The employee whose name tag read Kelly looked Zara up and down. Well, you've got a great figure, she said. Let me help you put together some basics. 4. The next hour, Kelly helped Zara select jean shirts, sweaters, a jacket, and other items that Alex called essentials. Zara was fascinated by the variety of colors and styles available. The concept of choosing clothing based on personal preference, rather than function, was new to her. After paying for the clothes, Alex took Zara to lunch at a small cafe. She watched the humans around them eating, talking, laughing. They seemed so carefree, unaware that an alien sat among them. You look deep in thought, Alex said as they waited for their food. Zara lowered her voice. Humans are so interesting. You all live such short lives, yet you spend so much time on things that don't extend your survival. Decorative clothing, music, art. Alex smiled. Those things might not extend our survival, but they make life worth living. What's the point of surviving if you're not enjoying the journey? Zara considered this. On my world, efficiency is valued above all. We live much longer than humans, but I wonder if we experience as much. Their food arrived, interrupting the conversation. As they ate, Alex asked about her world. What will happen now that you're not reporting back? Zara set down her fork. The council will assume something went wrong. Either my ship malfunctioned, or I encountered hostile humans. They will send another research officer to investigate, probably within 1 Earth month. Their priority will be recovering any technology that might fall into human hands. Will they look for you? Alex asked. Yes, Zara said. They will attempt to locate my biometric signature. But Earth has billions of humans. It will be difficult as long as I keep my distance from my ship and maintain my human appearance. What about your family? Won't they worry? Family is different. For my people, Zara explained. We don't form the same attachments as humans. I was created for the research division, raised and trained by the council. You were created. Alex repeated. Zara nodded, seeing his confusion. My species reproduces differently than humans. We combine genetic material to create children, but they are raised by the community based on their aptitude. I showed skills in observation and analysis, so I was trained as a research officer. No parents, no childhood. I had caretakers and education, Zara said. It was a good life. I never lacked for anything. Alex seemed troubled by this idea. I can't imagine growing up without a family, he said. My parents supported me, cheered for me when I succeeded, comforted me when I failed. Without them, I wouldn't be who I am. Zara had never considered her upbringing lacking, but the way Alex described his family made her wonder what she had missed. After lunch, they continued shopping, picking up toiletries and other items Zara would need by the time they returned to Alex's home. The sun was setting. They carried the bags inside, and Alex helped Zara organize her new belongings in the guest room. You should have everything you need now, he said. But let me know if you've forgotten anything. Zara nodded, looking at the collection of Earth clothes and products. It was strange having possessions, items chosen based on preference rather than necessity. Thank you, she said. For all of this, Alex smiled. It's nothing. Just the basics. Not just the clothes, Zara clarified. For helping me. For accepting what I am. Alex leaned against the doorframe. You know, when I was a kid, I used to stare at the stars for hours, convinced there had to be someone out there looking back. Now here you are. He shook his head. It's still hard to believe I'm real, Zara assured him. And now I'm here without orders or protocols for the first time. What do you want to do? Alex asked. Now that you're free to choose, Zara had been considering this question all day. I want to learn, she said. To experience Earth as humans do. Not as an observer, but as a participant. And she hesitated, looking directly at Alex. I want to understand human connections. Alex held her gaze, something unspoken passing between them. Well, start tomorrow, he promised. Later, that night after Alex had gone to bed, Zara stood by the window looking at the stars. She could identify her home system, a faint cluster barely visible to the human eye. She should feel regret for abandoning her mission, fear of the consequences, but instead she felt something different: excitement, possibility. The freedom to choose her own path for the first time. The next week passed in a blur of new experiences. Alex had to return to teaching, so Zara spent her days in his house reading books, watching Earth media, and learning about human culture. In the evenings, Alex would return and they would talk for hours, sometimes about the differences between their worlds, but often about simple things: music, food, dreams. On Friday, Alex came home with an excited expression. "I have a surprise for you," he announced. "What kind of surprise?" Zara asked. "Put on your jacket and boots," he said. "We're going on a little trip." They drove for almost an hour, winding through mountain roads until they reached a high clearing away from city lights. The night sky blazed with stars. Alex parked the truck and led Zara to a flat rock overlooking the valley below. "I come here sometimes when I need perspective," Alex explained, sitting down and patting the space. Beside him, best view of the stars for miles, Zara sat next to him looking up. The sky was different from this angle, the stars arranged in patterns her people had never named. "Beautiful," she whispered. "I thought you might like it." Alex said, "This is how I always imagined aliens would come, watching the stars together, sharing the universe." Zara smiled. "You were right about aliens existing, but wrong about how we'd meet. I never planned to make contact. I'm glad you did." Alex said softly. They sat in comfortable silence for a while, watching the stars. Then Alex turned to her. "Can I ask you something? Anything?" Zara replied. "Have you ever been in love?" Zara considered the question. "My people don't experience love the way humans describe it. We form connections based on compatibility, mutual goals, shared interests, but the intense emotions humans call love." He paused. "It's not part of our biology." "Never?" Alex asked. Zara shook her head. "But since coming to Earth, I've begun to feel things differently. More intensely, like my emotional capacity is expanding. I don't know if it's your planet's atmosphere or something about being away from my people. But I feel changed." Alex suggested. "Yes," Zara agreed. "More open to experiences I never considered before." She looked at him curiously. "Have you been in love?" 3 weeks had passed since Zara chose to stay on Earth. The days had settled into a comfortable routine. Alex taught science at the high school, while Zara remained at his house learning about human culture through books, television, and the internet. She was fascinated by human creativity, their music, art, and literature. In the evenings, they would share meals, talking for hours about the differences and similarities between their worlds. Zara had mastered many human customs. Her appearance modulator now maintained her human form with ease, though she still preferred to let her natural blue skin show. When they were alone, Alex seemed to prefer it too, saying her true form was beautiful, exotic. Zara had never considered her appearance beautiful before on her world. Physical attributes were merely functional. Today, Alex had gone to school early for a staff meeting, leaving Zara alone. She decided to walk into town, something she had been nervous to do alone, but now felt ready for. She had studied human behavior enough to blend in. She put on jeans, a sweater, and boots, items that still felt strange against her skin, but that Alex assured her looked normal. The small town of Pine Creek was just waking up as Zara walked down Main Street. She passed the coffee shop, the bookstore, and the small grocery, watching humans go about their morning routines. They nodded politely, some even smiling at her, a stranger in their town. Zara smiled back, practicing the expression which did not come naturally to her species. She entered the bookstore, drawn by the displays of colorful covers. A bell jingled as she opened the door, announcing her presence. An older woman looked up from behind the counter. "Good morning," she said. "Welcome to Turning Pages." "Good morning," Zara replied, mimicking the woman's friendly tone. The woman studied her. "I don't believe we've met. Are you new in town?" Zara remembered the story she and Alex had created. "I'm staying with my cousin Alex Morgan. "Am visiting from overseas," the woman's face brightened. "Oh, Alex is a wonderful young man. He's done so much for our school. My granddaughter is in his science class. She loves him." She extended her hand. Elaine Zara hesitated for just a moment before taking the offered hand. She had practiced handshakes with Alex, but this was her first with a stranger. "Zara," she said, remembering to apply the correct amount of pressure. Not too firm. Not too soft. "Well?" "Zara," Elaine said, "what kind of books do you enjoy?" Zara looked around at the countless volumes. "Science fiction," she answered truthfully. "Stories about space and other worlds." Elaine laughed. "How fitting, considering your cousin is our resident stargazer." "Follow me," Zara followed the woman to a section near the back of the store. "Here we are," Elaine said, gesturing to shelves filled with books about alien space travel and imagined futures. "Take your time browsing." Left alone, Zara ran her fingers along the spines, reading titles that imagined worlds beyond Earth. Some portrayed aliens as monstrous threats, others as advanced saviors. She pulled a book from the shelf. "The Day the Stars" changed the cover, showing a silver spacecraft hovering over a small town, much like Pine Creek. The irony made her smile. Continuing through the store, Zara found herself in the science section. Books about physics, astronomy, biology. She selected one about human anatomy, curious about the details of their biological systems. Next, she found a book of poetry, something Alex had introduced her to. She had been surprised by how deeply human poetry affected her, the way it captured emotions in ways her people never attempted. As she browsed, Zara overheard a conversation between Elaine and another customer. "That's Alex's cousin," the customer whispered. "Staying with him, yes," Elaine replied. "From overseas. Seems very nice." "Interesting," the other woman said with a tone Zara couldn't quite interpret. "Living together, just the two of them." Elaine made a disapproving sound. "Don't start gossip. Margaret, Alex, a good man, is just helping family." Zara moved away, not wanting to eavesdrop. Though she wondered about the exchange, humans seemed very concerned with living arrangements, something that hadn't occurred to her. After selecting 3 books, Zara approached the counter to pay using the currency Alex had given her. Elaine chatted as she rang up the purchase, asking about Zara's home country. Zara gave vague answers, mentioning an island nation with a small population. Shed practiced this conversation with Alex, careful to be friendly but not too specific. Outside the bookstore, Zara decided to visit the small park across the street. She sat on a bench in the sunshine, opening one of her new books. Children played nearby, their laughter carrying on the breeze. 2 older men played chess at a stone table. The scene was peaceful, ordinary, yet to Zara it was all fascinating. Alex found her there later that afternoon, having guessed she might have ventured into town. "Hey there," he said, sitting beside her on the bench. "I see you went shopping." Zara showed him her books. "The bookstore owner knows you." Alex smiled. "Elaine, she's great. Everyone knows everyone here. It's both the charm and the curse of small towns." He looked at her carefully. "Did anyone give you trouble?" "No," Zara said, though she paused. "I overheard someone named Margaret speaking to Elaine. They seemed concerned about our living arrangement." Alex sighed. "Margaret Winston town gossip." He looked slightly uncomfortable. "It's just that unmarried men and women living together is still considered improper by some of the older folks here, especially in small towns." Zara considered this. "Your social customs around mating and living arrangements are complex." Alex laughed quietly. "Mating," he repeated. "Yes. I suppose they are." He looked around the park, checking if anyone was within earshot. "Does it bother you what people might think?" Zara shook her head. "The opinions of humans I don't know are irrelevant. My people don't form attachments based on the approval of others." Alex nodded. "Do you miss it?" "You're home sometimes," Zara admitted, the familiarity of it, the certainty. But she looked at the children playing. "I never experienced life there the way I am experiencing it here. Everything was observed, categorized, reported. Nothing was just felt." They sat in comfortable silence, watching the activity in the park. Then Alex said, I have an idea. Why don't we have a picnic by the lake tomorrow? The weather is supposed to be perfect. Zara smiled, an expression that felt more natural. Each day I would like that. That night after dinner, they sat on Alex's porch looking at the stars. It had become their nightly ritual, a way for Zara to feel connected to her home while embracing her new life on Earth. Alex pointed out constellations, sharing the human stories behind them while Zara told him what her people called the same stars. Alex reached for her hand as they sat side by side. His skin was warmer than hers, a difference she had come to enjoy. In the 3 weeks since their first kiss, they had grown closer physically as well as emotionally. Each touch, each kiss was a new discovery for Zara, sensations her species rarely experienced. "What are you thinking?" Alex asked. Seeing her distant expression. "About us?" Zara replied. "Honestly, about how unlikely this is. A human and a being from another world." Alex squeezed her hand. "Maybe not so unlikely." He said, "The universe is vast, but somehow we found each other." He smiled. "Some might call that fate. My people don't believe in fate." Zara said, "Everything is probability, calculation, logic." "And what do you believe now?" Alex asked. Zara looked at him, studying his face in the moonlight. "I believe I was meant to find you," she said softly. "Though the scientist in me knows that's irrational." Alex leaned closer. "Maybe the best things in life are a little irrational," he whispered before kissing her. The next day dawned clear and warm, perfect for their planned picnic. Alex packed a basket with sandwiches, fruit, and something called chocolate, which Zara had become particularly fond of. They drove to the lake, a beautiful blue expanse surrounded by trees just beginning to show the colors of autumn. They spread a blanket on a grassy spot near the shore. Zara watched a family nearby, children splashing in the shallow water, their parents watching from the beach. The scene stirred something in her, a question about possibilities she had never considered. Alex noticed her watching the family. "Have you ever thought about having children?" he asked, then immediately looked embarrassed. "I'm sorry, that's too personal," Zara said. "It's a fair question. Research officers are not permitted to reproduce. Our genetic material is considered too valuable to be used without council approval. The children created from it would be raised for specific purposes." Alex frowned. "That seems cold. It's efficient," Zara said. "But I admit, being here, seeing how humans raise their young with such emotion, I wonder what it would be like." She looked at the water. "It's not possible. Anyway, why not?" Alex asked. "My species and humans are too different genetically," she explained. "Even if we appear similar, our basic structures are incompatible." Alex nodded, understanding. They ate their lunch, talking about lighter topics. Alex told stories from his classroom, the experiments his students conducted. The questions they asked Zara shared more about her world, its crystal cities and technology, describing the beauty of her home planet, with its twin moons and purple skies. After eating, they walked along the shore, Alex skipping stones across the water, teaching Zara how to do the same. Her first attempt sank immediately, but soon she was sending stones bouncing across the surface, laughing with delight at each success. As the afternoon waned, they sat at the end of a wooden dock, their feet dangling above the water. The sun warmed their faces as Alex told Zara about Earth seasons, how the world would soon grow colder, the trees losing their leaves before snow covered everything. "World doesn't have such dramatic changes," Zara said. "The temperature remains constant, our vegetation evergreen. The concept of winter is fascinating." The first snow of winter fell on Pine Creek, turning the small town into a wonderland of white. Zara stood at the window, watching the flakes drift down from the gray sky. Each one unique. She had learned from Alex, who had shown her snowflakes under his microscope, their crystalline patterns similar yet never identical. It had been 2 months since she chose to stay on Earth. 2 months of discovering humanity and herself. Alex came up behind her, wrapping his arms around her waist. "Look at that," he said. "They canceled school today. Too much snow on the road." Zara leaned back against him. "So we have the whole day together." He murmured, kissing her neck. "I was thinking we could go sledding. Have you ever tried it?" Zara shook her head. "My world," Has no snow, she reminded him. Then today you learn another Earth tradition, Alex said with a grin. After breakfast they bundled up in warm clothes, Zara marveling at the layers humans needed to stay comfortable in cold weather. Alex found an old wooden sled in his garage and they walked to a nearby hill already dotted with children sliding down its snowy surface. Zara watched as a young girl screamed with delight racing down the hill. Her face flushed with excitement. That looks frightening, she said. It's fun, Alex assured her. Trust me, Zara had come to understand that human fun often involved activities that seemed dangerous or irrational. Her species sought safety, efficiency, survival, but humans, they sought joy even if it meant risk. She was learning to appreciate this approach to life. Alex positioned the sled at the top of the hill. Sit in front, he instructed. I'll sit behind you and steer. Zara sat carefully on the wooden sled, Alex sliding in behind her, his legs on either side of her, his chest warm against her back. Ready, he asked. Zara nodded, though she wasn't entirely sure she was ready. Alex pushed off with his hands and suddenly they were sliding down the hill, gathering speed as they went. The cold air rushed past them. Snow spraying from the sled runners. Zara felt her stomach drop, a sensation both terrifying and exhilarating. She heard herself make a sound halfway between a scream and laugh, Alex whooping behind her as they raced toward the bottom. When the sled finally slowed to a stop at the base of the hill, Zara turned to Alex, her eyes wide. Again, she said breathlessly. Alex laughed. That good, huh? They spent hours sledding down the hill, each run bringing fresh excitement, Zara learning to steer the sled herself. By the afternoon they returned home, exhausted, cheeks red from cold but happy. Alex made hot chocolate, another winter tradition, he explained as they sat before the fireplace, warming their cold fingers and toes. This has been a wonderful day, Zara said, sipping the sweet warm drink. Alex smiled, looking at her with warmth. You know, when I first met you, I never imagined we'd be here like this. Nor did I, Zara admitted. My mission parameters certainly didn't include sledding and hot chocolate. Alex laughed, then grew more serious. It's been 2 months since you went off-grid. Any sign of your people? Zara shook her head. No, but that doesn't mean they're not looking. They are methodical, patient. If they sent another research officer, it could be months before they locate my ship. The thought hung between them, a shadow on their happiness. Alex reached for her hand. Do you ever regret staying here with me? Never, Zara said firmly. The Galactic Council raised me to be logical, analytical, but being with you has taught me that there are things more important than efficiency or protocol. She leaned forward, kissing him softly. I made the right choice. Their peaceful evening was interrupted by a sharp beeping sound. Zara sat up straight, recognizing the alert from the device she had brought from her ship. What's that? Alex asked. My ship's proximity alert, she explained. Someone is near it. Another hiker, maybe, Alex suggested. But his expression was worried. Zara shook her head. In this weather. And the alert is specific. It's detecting technology similar to my ship's. They looked at each other, both understanding what this might mean. They need to check the ship, Zara said. The drive to the national forest was slow and tense, snow making the road slippery. Alex concentrated on driving while Zara monitored the alert signal on her device. The beeping had become more insistent. I need to get closer to see what triggered the alarm, Zara said. When we reach the trailhead, I'll continue on foot. You should stay with the truck. Alex shook his head. We're in this together, remember? When they reached the forest parking area, they bundled up for the hike ahead. The trail was covered in several inches of snow, making their progress slow. As they neared the ship's location, Zara activated her scanner. One life form, she reported. It's near my ship. Human, no, Zara said. It's Nebulae, my people. They approached carefully, staying among the trees, Zara leading the way. Her ship remained invisible, its cloaking still functional, but her scanner showed another smaller craft had landed nearby. In the clearing stood a tall figure, blue skin shimmering in the moonlight. I recognize him, Zara whispered. Commander Lion. The commander appeared to be scanning the area holding a device similar to Zara's. He was methodical, moving in a precise pattern that would eventually lead him to the cloaked ship. We need to confront him, Zara said. Before he finds my ship. Alex grabbed her arm. What will he do if he finds you? Zara hesitated. The protocol is clear. Research. Officers who abandon their posts are to be returned for evaluation and reassignment. What does that mean exactly? Alex asked. My memories would be examined. Zara explained. Any attachment to this world would be considered a malfunction. My mind would be reset. Alex paled. They would erase your memories of Earth. Of me. Zara nodded. I won't let that happen. Together they stepped into the clearing. Commander Lion turned immediately, his hand moving to his weapon. Zara, Research Officer, 927. He said, his voice flat, unsurprised. I've been searching for you. Commander Lion. Zara acknowledged, keeping her distance. Alex, slightly behind her. Lion looked at Alex with clinical interest. A human. You violated the primary directive. I did. Zara admitted. I made contact. Lion studied them both with detached curiosity. Interesting. You appear to have formed a bond with this specimen. Has not a specimen, Zara said sharply. Has a person. His name is Alex Lion. Raised what would have been an eyebrow if nebulae had them. You sound, Emotional Research Officer, a clear sign of contamination. Not contaminated, Zara said. Changed, evolved. The humans, they're not what we thought. They have much to teach us. The commander shook his head. Your mission was observation, not integration. The council has sent me to retrieve you and your ship. You will return with me, and if I refuse, you know the protocol. Lion said every research officer has a neural link to their ship. If necessary, I can activate your emergency recall. All memories of this planet will be purged for your own protection. Zara felt Alex tense beside her. She reached for his hand, holding it tightly. I won't go, she said. I choose to stay. Lion looked genuinely puzzled. No. Nebulae has ever chosen to abandon the collective. For a less advanced species, it's irrational, it's love, Zara said simply. Love. Lion repeated the unfamiliar word. A human emotion. Temporary, chemical. Inefficient. Maybe Alex spoke for the first time. But it's real and it's worth fighting for. Lion turned his attention to Alex. You speak as if you have authority, human. This matter is beyond your understanding. Alex stepped forward, standing beside Zara. I understand that you're trying to take someone against their will. From where I stand, that's wrong. No matter what planet you're from. The commander studied Alex with new interest. You protect her. Why? Because that's what humans do, Alex said. We protect the people we love. Lion looked back at Zara. You have clearly been affected by prolonged exposure to this planet. Perhaps there is something in Earth's atmosphere that impairs nebulae cognition. I should study this phenomenon. Commander. Zara said, I haven't been impaired, I've been enlightened. My time here has shown me that our approach is flawed. We observe, but we don't experience. We record, but we don't feel. We exist for thousands of years, but we never truly live. Lion considered her words. You were one of our most promising officers. Your reports were always thorough, objective. Now you speak of feelings, experiences, living. He shook his head. The council will be most disturbed by your deterioration. It's not deterioration, Zara insisted. It's growth. The three stood in the snowy clearing, a tableau frozen in the moonlight. The commander, tall and rigid, embodying the logical, detached approach of their species. Zara caught between two worlds, and Alex simply human but standing firm. Commander, Zara said finally. I have a proposal. Lion tilted his head. Listening, let me stay. Zara suggested I will continue to send reports, detailed cultural analyses of humans. But from the perspective of one who lives among them, think how valuable that insight would be. Observation from within, not just without. The commander was silent, considering. It is unprecedented. The best research often is, Zara pointed out. Lion looked between them and the human he knows of our existence. Our technology, I trust him, Zara said, and isn't trust itself worth studying? Our people have no equivalent for it. Lion seemed to be calculating weighing options. Finally he spoke. The council authorized me to use my discretion in this situation. The retrieval of our technology is the priority. Your ship must return with me. But Zara started. However, Lion continued, I could report that you were lost. The human environment proved hostile. Your data was recovered, but you yourself were unrecoverable. Alex looked at Zara. What does that mean? It means Zara explained, hope rising in her voice. He would report me dead. My ship would return, but I would be permitted to stay. Is that acceptable, Commander? Lion asked. Zara nodded yes.